BF's best female friend moves in with us, and now they try to kick me out from my own house. My screams shattered the silence of our cozy living room, where fairy lights once twinkled like promises of forever. You can't be serious, Ethan. I spat, staring at the man I thought I'd marry, now standing shoulder to shoulder with his so-called best friend, Lila, who smirked like she'd already won. 3 months ago, I was the queen of this house, my house, and now I'm the one being told to pack my bags. It started innocently enough. Ethan and I had been together for 4 years, building a life in this charming two-story home I'd inherited from my grandmother. The hardwood floors creaked with memories of late-night dances and lazy Sunday mornings. We were happy, or so I thought, until Lila's apartment lease fell through. Ethan, ever the knight in shining armor, suggested she move in temporarily. "She's like a sister. Claire," he said, his brown eyes pleading, "just until she gets back on her feet." I trusted him. I trusted her. I said yes. The first week was fine. Lila was polite, almost too polite, with her wide smiles and offers to cook dinner. She'd breeze through the house in her flowy dresses, her laughter filling spaces I hadn't realized were empty. But then, things shifted. She'd linger too long when hugging Ethan goodbye, her hand brushing his arm in a way that felt too familiar. I'd catch them whispering in the kitchen, their voices dropping when I entered. "Just catching up," Lila would say, her green eyes glinting with something I couldn't name. Ethan would nod, avoiding my gaze. By week 3, I felt like a guest in my own home. Lila rearranged the kitchen cabinets without asking, claiming it was more efficient. My favorite mugs were pushed to the back, replaced by her pastel-colored set. She'd sprawl across the couch during our movie nights, leaving me to perch awkwardly on the armchair. Ethan didn't notice, or maybe he didn't care. "You're overreacting," he'd say when I mentioned it, his tone sharp enough to cut. I started to wonder if I was losing my mind. Then came the bombshell. One rainy evening, I came home from work to find Ethan and Lila sitting at the dining table, a stack of papers between them. The air was thick, like the moment before a storm breaks. "Claire, we need to talk," Ethan said, his voice cold, detached. Lila sat back, arms crossed, her lips curled into a faint smile. They'd been talking about the house, my house. Ethan explained that Lila needed stability, a real home, and since I was barely here, I worked late shifts as a nurse. It made sense for her to stay, permanently, and me. They suggested I find a new place. "It's for the best," Lila added, her voice dripping with false sympathy. I laughed, a bitter, jagged sound. "This is my house. My name is on the deed." My heart pounded, betrayal searing through me like wildfire. Ethan's face hardened. "We're a team. Claire, Lila's been here for me in ways you haven't lately." His words hit like a slap. I hadn't been there. I'd spent years loving him, building this life, while he'd been building something else behind my back. The next few weeks were a war of attrition. Lila's presence became a constant taunt. She'd leave her clothes in the laundry room, her perfume lingering in the air. Ethan stopped kissing me goodnight, his attention glued to Lila's stories about her day. I'd lie awake, listening to their laughter downstairs, feeling like an intruder in my own life. I tried fighting back, reclaiming my space, asserting my rights, but every confrontation ended with Ethan accusing me of being selfish. "Why can't you just be happy for us?" he'd say, as if I was the one tearing us apart. I started digging. Lila wasn't just a friend. She'd been Ethan's first love in college, a detail he'd conveniently omitted. Old photos on social media showed them tangled together at parties, their smiles too intimate for just friends. When I confronted Ethan, he shrugged it off. "That was years ago. Claire, you're being paranoid. But paranoia doesn't leave lipstick stains on your boyfriend's collar. Paranoia doesn't whisper late-night secrets in your living room." The breaking point came on a chilly October night. I'd come home early, my shift canceled due to a power outage at the hospital. The house was dark, except for a soft glow from the living room. I crept closer, my heart thudding, and saw them, Ethan and Lila, tangled on the couch, her hands in his hair, his lips on hers. Time froze. My home, my love, my life stolen right under my nose. I didn't scream this time. I stood there, invisible. As the truth sank in, they'd already decided I was out. But I wasn't going down without a fight. The next morning, I called a lawyer. My grandmother's house wasn't just a building, it was my legacy, my sanctuary. The deed was ironclad, Ethan had no claim, and Lila was a guest, nothing more. I presented the facts calmly, my voice steady despite the storm inside. You have 2 weeks to leave, I told them, holding up the legal documents. Lila's smirk vanished, replaced by wide-eyed panic. Ethan stammered, Claire, let's talk about this. But I was done talking. The eviction wasn't easy. Ethan begged, then raged, calling me heartless. Lila played the victim, claiming I was tearing apart their friendship. Neighbors whispered, friends took sides, and social media buzzed with half-truths. But I stood my ground. This was my home, my heart, my life. I wasn't the one who'd broken trust. As they packed, I saw glimpses of the Ethan I'd loved, the one who'd fix my car in the rain, who'd dance with me to old jazz records. But that Ethan was gone, replaced by someone who'd chosen convenience over commitment. Lila, too, revealed her true colors, her charm fading into manipulation. I felt no joy watching them leave, only a hollow relief. The house was mine again, but it felt emptier than ever. Rebuilding wasn't easy. I repainted the walls, erasing Lila's pastel aesthetic. I invited friends over, filling the space with new memories. Slowly, the house began to feel like home again. But the scars remained: doubt, betrayal, the sting of realizing love could be so fragile. I learned to trust myself, to value my own strength. I wasn't just fighting for a house, I was fighting for me. This story isn't just about a breakup or a betrayal. It's about what home means, about standing up when the world tries to push you out. It's about the courage to reclaim what's yours, even when it hurts. So, what do you think? Was I right to fight for my home, or should I have walked away? Share your thoughts, I'm listening. End.